Okay, so as I talked about in my last video, my update video, I'm making this one as just kind of something where I can vent a little bit, I guess. It's not really necessarily venting, um, but it's something that I've noticed happening a little bit more often than it used to, and that's kind of my attitude towards women and feminism. Um, so before everyone gets angry about what I'm gonna say, it's nothing bad. Um, but like I'm not all of a sudden having all this like male privilege that I need to keep in check. It's actually that so before I started transitioning, and especially before I started testosterone, um, I never identified with the label of feminist. Um, it actually made me really dysphoric to think about because I never, I didn't want to identify with women. And so I got like, it wasn't that, it's not that I like ever hated feminists. I just was like, I have all these friends who are super involved and super like, we need to go out and do like Take Back the Night and things like that. And I was just like, I don't want to go to anything that could be considered a women's only space because it freaks me out and I'm not comfortable with it. Um, and since I've started tea, I've I've seen kind of a shift in how I view women. Um, and I think that before I didn't appreciate myself um, in like the fullest way just because I tried to separate myself from my body so much and from being a woman in general. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And I found that as I've taken tea, my respect towards women in general and just thinking like, fuck, women are just awesome has increased exponentially. I'm like, God, there are so many things that I used to just take for granted. Um, and now it's like I'm realizing, I don't know, I'm seeing the male privilege side of things and just thinking like it pisses me off. It makes me really angry that women are still treated like not necessarily second class citizens, but second class citizens. Um, and I don't know, I just feel very protective of women now. And I'll use an example. So I have a friend who's kind of who was in an abusive relationship, and she ended up getting out of it, which is really cool. But her like I don't know. I don't want to get super into it just because I don't want to get pissed off about it right now. But when I see like some guy treating a woman in any kind of disrespectful manner, it I get very aggravated. And I don't get angry much. I am one of the calmest people that I know. And now when I see it, I'm just like, stop being a dick and get your head out of your ass and like treat her with some respect. Seriously. Like it just infuriates me to see guys walk all over girls just because they have more power or something of that sort. It's just like I don't know. I don't really know why I'm making this other than I have a lot of feelings and I don't know. Now I want to grow this sick ass beard and just walk around and be this giant lumberjack dude who's like advocating for women's rights because I feel like it's my duty. Especially gaining white male privilege, people are going to see me differently than I've ever been treated, and it that's something I've been worried about is kind of letting the privilege get to my head. But as the changes have been happening, I feel like I'm going to keep them in check. Not only because other people are helping me do it, but because I myself want to. And I want to be someone that is perceived as being this white, straight, cisgendered male, but I'm like sneakily infiltrating, the patriarchy and just being like, "Hey, fuck you! This is stupid. We need to break it down and start respecting everyone." Um, So there's my feministy rant. I'm really excited because it's the first time I've ever kind of seen the label of feminist and really wanting to have that apply to me. And like, I want to identify that way. And I feel like at this point I do, but I also feel like that means that I need to be a better ally to the community and get out there and actually do things about it. So that's going to be my next project, is to find some way to actually make a difference in my community, with what I'm dealt with now. So yeah, that was my little rant for the time being, I suppose. We'll see if that changes at all. Um, so yeah, all right. That's it. You can stop listening to my ramblings now.